everlasting, accentuated Kate Catter becoming in the door. Okay? And oh, it is nay not him what foots like a glove, shoe, and shine or pad padonkin. Softly, Annie Slavy, Sushi is Sloyaneska. The aged, crafty, mummy-feed confusionary, over-insured, everlapsing, accentuated Kate Catterson clopped Darcy Dobry back and along the dancing corridor as she was going to pim him, way boy Wally, not without her complement of Cavarnan men, between the two death-dealing allied divisions and the lines of ray-present fire of the cocked again upstored, taken in giving the salute, band your hands going in, bind your heads coming out, and remote to herself in her surce alone, a weird-pobby, willowy, dreedy drawly, and the patter of so familiars far abroad and behomian, as she sure snows, boof for a boofy, boo, new uses in their musy fume, the Jamisons is a cook in his hair, and the Genesis is a wraith in his hind, and the bulling dong caught the window, tip. And the message she brought below from Mrs. she bragged above that had her agony stays outside her sari chemise, blanking her shifts for to keep up the fashion since the king of old runnings kissed her beeswick's hand. Fang, pierce me hunky, I'm full of meanders. Her frieze like a tub tail of mundane clothes, fed to the chaps with working medicals, and her birthright pang that would split an atom like the 40 pins in her hood, was to father Hunter a howdy-dowdy, to mountainy mots in her amnest plain language, from his saying a one, his hottentot laugh, to pierce his rope loop ear how Podushka be praised. Now the sounds of his loins were winking and waking, and his daughter of the hush lillabilla lullaby, lead us not into reformication with the poors in your kingdom of Gorio moan. Once after mail, nonce at a time, with them Murphy's puffs she dursted with nutmegs, and the brambury cake for dour dirty dumpling over madam beaten, and eps off the pot. And if he was wishful to licture her caudle with chesty chat from his Dorburg den, and nobbiny news from Nor, or toplots talked from Marion Baths, or a parrot's place cure for uncivilized lethargies, Spix my spoon, and the very blessed spoon, 'twas her hour for the chambers in Salicopodium, with love to Melis Pani Costello, from XYZ, for to folly Billy Bobbis give its portsy fancy, and she was a wanton for Demerara to take her genial glow to bed. This is time for my trouble, reflected Mr. Gladstone Brown in the toll hut. It was characteristic from that man of Delgany. This is me vulcanite smoking, profused Mr. Bonaparte Nolan under the neck-up. One feels how one may hereby reignites the ground old Mahonagyan. And this is defender of defeater of defaulter of deformer of the fonts man in Danelaw, willing toned in with his glance down his brow, and that born of all noodlum, the panelite pairs, Cummel delimitator, odding, Oliver White, he's as stiff as she's tight, and listens his speak quite hoarse. Dip. In reverence to her midgetsy, the lady of the Camallios, as majesty to our own one's goth statue. Proceed, to the crook. Oh, rum, it is the comicalest thing, how it pickles up the punchy and the Jude. If you'll give me your thing to me, I will gain you sing to thee. Stay where you're dummy, to get her to go there. He banged the scoop, and she bagged the sugar, while the whole pub's pobbled down a stair. On the midst wall, with its chromo for all prim, showing old Minag's asses sat by Almanac's men, cannons to ride with them, cannons that left them, bullied and plundered. So the Katies came, and the Katies came. As so gang Sludgenos, and that hench wench what hopped it done up there doffed the... Do it. Silence. Yes, with Conton print, and its gloss so gay, how it came from Finlayder's Yule to the day, and its hay Talloch toe on the King's Highway, with its hounds on the home at the turning, the Donicombe faring, Milligan's path. When visiting at Isla Chapelle, taste the leap of the waters from Carloman's cup. It telehows its story to their six of hearts, a 12-eyed man, for whom has majesty, who since his died ground reigned before the Isla. Hey-ish. As stage to set my ritual wrote for the grim tale of the four of Hyacinth, the deaf-eared carp, and the bugler's dozen of leagues in Amour, or how Hollis Follis went to Parkland with Maddie and Sandy and Sonny and Sissy, and Mops Valley to Shambles, and all to find the right place for it by peep a skirt or pipe a skirl, when the hunt called a halt on the chivy chase of the ground sloper, at that lightning lovemaker's tender appeal, till, between wandering weather and stable wind, wasteland, hostile end, night seal, and old trigger, some bully clubber burglary shot the Russian general. Let us propel us for the fray of the fray, us, be ready. Con you direnish how ruleish, ah la la, con you direnish how rurulalish, ah la la. The Wellington stern is breaking, the sound of mouring. The Wellington stern waxes fusilier, the whack wax of the storm, katuta ihis, katuta wana. The strength of the Roth von Generand is known throughout the world. Let us say if we may what a weenie Wukaline can do. Hey, la la. Poor the Ruski, when they all of them then each in his different way of saying, calling on the one and the same time Hibernian knight's undertainer that was having, half for the laugh of the blissed St. Barbara's, another docent and once tale of a Tublin, wished unto him with its olives of columns and its hills on railings, and Totty his tour in his no-hair's yacht. It was before, when Aimee stood for Arthur Duke, for the figure in profane, and fell from grace so madly, for Phil the flatter fellow, they were saying. And it was the lang in the shirt in the green of the wood, where obelisk rises when odalisks fall, Major Thrift on the make, and Jolly Jack Spindrift on the merry. Oh, Mr. Maturin, they were calling, what a top heavy hat you're in. And there, Army made, then they were saying these so pew-pews, and it was Cyclum Cyclorums after he made design on the course, and he want to miss on him, enter elbow, add all taller Danis, back, seeker and sides, and he applied, I'm amazingly sorry, sir. The whole bowl-shouldered boys with for fullness, measures for messieurs, messes mast. They were say calling again and again and all over again, the loudly meters, the loudly Neaslers, 6 to 1 bar ones. And they fled him behighten the firing. Do. Mal to meet him, all to make them. When a tale tarry shom shunt her shop on. For all they all agree. Pray. Of this Mr. Attil Lalaric, and these washwomen, Daffydude, Frony Flord, and Theophides, who had ensue, keen and able, and a spindle song aside, nothing more is told until now, his orb-room hour, a seer Sahara of sad opies. And then, behold, the next thing is, we are once more as babes, a wandering in a wold made fresh, where with the hen in the story about we start from scratch. So the truce, the old truce, and Nat and Buff the truce boys. Brouth is stronger than faction. Slan, shin shin, shin shin. It was of the Grant, old Gartner, qua golden medalist, Publius Manlius, feudal private, his place is his poster, sure, they said, and we're going to market store, they said, with a carbon caustic manner, bequoth of the liberal oider of his petty corporaletzo, that hung caught napping from his bated breath. It was of him, my wife and I think, to feel to every of the younging fruits, tender rose like an Atalantic's breast swells, or, on a second reading, a bright taut bite shimmery shaking for the wealth of his plough, and where the peccadillies of his wrist ends meetings, the loving so lightly doth soil the candidacy, me wife and I sinks, of his soft boiled bosom, should be apparent, even to our electorate, of nulla tenentis. all to which not a lot snapped the Nolan of the Calabashes, that his whilom new heart-pathonomist, who by the sum taken was as much incensed by St. Bruno as that what he had consumed was his own Panagard. And what a lot about it, if it was only a pip-a-pop pigeon shoot that graces old get-runner, the man of centuries, was bowled out by judge, jury, and umpire at Batman's biff like a witch before Legget. Duke. His almanence being a laterally in dispensation with his three older patrons' aid, Providence's divine cowed milk-feeding Leckman, Boniface's the Solifides, won't matter what all his Freud say, or who holds his hat to harm him. Let Hutch just keep on under it being a vanished consonant, and let Annabelle Livy Bell prettily prattle a lewd all her own, and be that semiliminal salmon solemnly angled, in-gate and out-gate. A truce to love calls, dulled in war calls, naily bags, things and decooing. Leave the letter that never begins, to go find the latter that ever comes to end, written in smoke and blurred by mist, and signed of solitude, sealed at night. Simply, as says the mug in the middle, ne Brian, ne Noel, ne Billy, ne Boney. Imagine twee queemy wosen. Suppose you get a beautiful thought and tell them Sylvial subsidence. Then imagine a stutterer. Suppose for him to be one bigger master on middle. Then lustily, two to the front, and trit on the boxwood, like gay fetuses dance. Imagine up to three longly lurking lobstarts. Fair instance, the Will Wolseley Wellesleyers. Pepper, pink him, play pranks with them. She will nod and properly smile. He may seem to appreciate it. They are as piratical jukers men sure to palpate support. Feel the wallies dribbling out of your finger palms. Says to you, Sil, flowyers have ears, he hear. So lowly. So these is Budlim. How do dainty darling? So peach to pick on you in this way, true and simple, prit and spry. Hey day to Malstafanagon, and hopes your highty-tighty licks the manky nuts. And oodlum hoodlum doodlum to yes, Don Teague and her leg, who the bullocks brought you here and how the hellocks are ye? We want Bud. We want Bud Burley. We want Bud Burley Budley. There he is, in his Barcelona, the man that shunned the rocks on Gerland, the man that won the battle of the ball. Order, 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 order. And puff, we call on Tancred Artaxerxes Flavin to compere with Barnabas Ulick Dunn. Order, order, order. Mr. Mouser in the chair, we've heard it since some 1,000 times, how Berkeley shocked the Rakush and German. For air and boys go broad. A public louse. Citizen soldier. Taft, a smart boy of the Peak Freers, 3211, looking through the roof towards a revolution of the Carmelite order previous to his hoisting of an emergency umbrellum in byway of paraguastical solution to the riddle in his head. All was flashing and crashing, blurty Moriarty Blutcherud, what see, what he watch, hell ever so often. But mottle-edged youth, surgical appealance, who, as his high friar, is supposing to motto the sorry digester and tiff-taff toffiness, or to be degassed forever and a day in his accounts. But da-dam, will shunny, till even so often. See you as the pool. Taff, promptly helping himself out by the cesspool with a yell of Europe, puts up his furry furzed hair. Buckley Bickley, come to our mountings, conscribe him till us, hunt in his jubilant tubilance, the brown sapper, with his soil day sight out on his mole day side in, the Gouverneur General in lout-leaf tenant of Baltiscare a malthouse for Leperty Hall, end-use paramilitary language, the sails of the Yellas knocked on Palignol Urdlesh, Sheltas and Weltas and Teltas at home, sling Stranislang, how Maloratia spikes her coining a speak as fake, not the satanic stuff that slimes soft Seranouche, the good old gunshop monowords for mana simples, tinkers panic. They did okay dough for Changlin when that man thereon was big top Tom saw, tipside bombast pageant filler. Ejaculate, all Lee life, for assemble the glowings of brilliant the breath, when the mollies make halfpence, took his leg for his thumb. And may he be too an intrepidation of our dream, which we forgot at Viking, when the morn hath raised out limp love, and the bleak frost chilled our reverie. Hoop, sing Chingluman, up go Bobby Cup, let's hear him remember the braes of Hole. But, drawling forth from his loatham, where his medical bound of his mincassery, switches on his gorse coffers, fling white for hito lanthorn, fed up the grain oils of Erin, while his laugh neighs bank as that flash of mind's rays, and his Nipponese long wedge wambles. Allah blow, say your nara popol san. Man head very dirty by a man oyato. Like old Darby Icon, when he cooked up his eggs in bacon. He got of that, and me got of it, and old oaks Calvin got of fun. Poor old pitch Melodistius of Mitchenach, the labert that pinch my asso. Bog Carson damn neat, sar gamhant. Limbers a front of him, lumbers behind. While the bucks bite his doss, his heart bites the rust, till the bounds of his bays bell the warning. So beta so bata, he was enemy valk, chromium fashion, with all his cannibal weapons, in his raglan rock, and his malachite bulbs big, and his varnished Russians, and his cardigan's blouse jagged, and his scarlet mantle cuffs, and his tree-coloured cami flag, and his pericopendulous gale storms. Here, weeks higher purchase. O'Brien is Barumst, from cars and polycops, the men's confessionals. Several shimmers, pleasant time pains, Musumazel's buckwoods look, tender and licking. Half, all Pershers tertius, shook at Naratata at his wagon horses. His bulged, glaring stargapers razzled dazzlingly full of eyes, full of balls, full of holes, full of buttons, full of stains, full of medals, full of blick black blobs. Groats Arctic, Totleben, some garment guy, insects appalling, low humtrangs in, a cheap decoy, too deep destroy, say man graphic, mais ce n'est pour daguerre. But if that he had forgotten his native glossary, fargoos beneath the floors of the forest, his spent fish's livid smile giving all asunder the bumpet of the doke. Come all you dukes of Wilmington that graze the calves of man, a bear reigning in his heaven-spawn consummation robes. Rent, outraged, you leave, grained, ballooned, hindergored, and volume. Arminia's cape-cloaked hoodooed man. First he steps, then he stooped, looked. Taff, struck strangling like a leal lusky lobdana, to me rumbled by the cycle of the crews who strungled Atakilupa with what empoisoned El Monte de Zuma, and failing Wilne Nilne, that he was Palap's barn in the midst of the Cromlin, before he was pop-soused into the monks of the battle can, makes the holy polygon of the ent on the grease shaper, a little farther, a little soon, a letter, etc. Oh, credobly. Scupperer of gold, he is Riturius on every rotary, the Lewski so soon of a kitchen, with his Walsh brush-up, and his bony bogey brags. But, after his tongues in his cheeks, with Think Poker pointing out in routine to impassable abjects, beyond the mistimist towards listener Louis, such as the Jumblian Alps and the Hoof Ribeiro, as where he and his true lock may ever make a game. The field of Carhags and that blustered tree, forget not the fell, for the low mundations of Aughrim. Waterford Doones bottom, here Furry Glen, Nye, their fiery paths, that, with guerrilla man a spear a spore to brink the pranks of Primkizzy, and the bodies behind in the byre, a la blah. Half a black seer, he strove to recollect all the stragglers for wife in the rut of the past, through the widows in effigies keening after the blank sheets and their family, to the relics of old decency from overdraft. O day of wrath, a murder of mine, Selomoy, O Zulului, Vermison McMahon from Oslo, bearing nose Easker for sweet proletas on his swoof brow. But back to his petrol and pomp, sweeties we rest, no more apple of Uli, Dode Ward Duke. Brew the Borough, the Hooney Munger, and the grisliest man Michael in Maid of Aid, whose